Hey, this is a video response to Knee Down for God's video about the process for getting a concealed deadly weapons permit in Kentucky. I'm originally from Kentucky, and I just thought I would add some information. I'm actually in Washington right now. I've been in the Army for about a little over 5 years now, and I don't have my Kentucky concealed weapons license because at that point I A, wasn't old enough, and B, I just wasn't really concerned with it. But I do have mine for Washington, and my mother got hers in Kentucky, and she described that same process. Go take the class, qualify with your weapon, and I thought it was kind of interesting because I went to apply for mine here in Washington, and it was a lot easier than I expected it to be. Because instead of going and taking a class and qualifying with the weapon and paying everybody and their brother to process paperwork, you can go to the Washington Department of Licensing's website. You can go download the form. You fill out the form and take it to the Pierce, whatever the courthouse for whatever county you're in. For me, that was I went to the Pierce County Courthouse in Tacoma. That was the closest one, and you pay, I think it's $58, gets you the laminated copy, or $55 is the flat fee. At least it was when I did it. And yeah, you get this nice little concealed weapons license. It does not have your picture. It's not like the trying not to show my address and all this other information that might be sensitive, but at the end of the day, all they do really is they just cut out a piece of the form that you signed and that they stamped with your address and name and everything, and they laminate it, do a background check on you, and they mail it to you. And it took about from the day that I walked into the courthouse and got fingerprinted and handed them the money order and the form, it took about 2 weeks. So it's kind of interesting to me that and I can kind of see why reciprocity is so fragmented between different states now, because I can see how Kentucky, with how thorough they are with doing background checks and educating Kentucky state citizens, why they would not want to recognize a concealed pistol license, which they don't, from Washington state. Because, I mean, there's, obviously myself, I'm very comfortable. I've been in the Army for 5 years. If I'm not competent with a firearm, I mean, there's some serious issues. But when the average Joe can just show up, fill out a form, and walk out of there with a license to carry a concealed weapon, and never show anybody that he's competent with the weapon, that he's confident in himself, that he can make good decisions, I mean, it kind of sets him up for failure if, God forbid, he should end up in a situation where he has to use his firearm because he hasn't been formally educated on the state laws. He's given a book, and yeah, you should be able to trust adults to do the right thing and read the book and know the laws and know what you can and can't do. But at the end of the day, he can always just cop out and say, well, they didn't tell me I wasn't allowed to do X, Y, or Z. So I thought it was a little interesting coming from Kentucky, the South. Everybody and their brother has a gun. If you get pulled over and you don't have one, the cop will give you his. And you get to Washington, where they're a little more paranoid about things, I guess you could say, and but then when you apply for it, it's like, oh yeah, here, fill out the form, we'll mail it to you. But I just thought I would share my experience for getting my concealed pistol license in Washington State. Like I said, I appreciate the fact that it was easy to get, because it means less paperwork and less people that I had to pay money to. But it's kind of interesting to see how it differs from state to state. So yeah, just thought I'd share.